Imagine how this feel, y'all. Like you knock down one of your childhood goals, you go to your favorite record label, you know what I'm saying? You meet some amazing people, you literally crowd surfing, taking pictures, autographs, all that. And then you get on the plane the next day, get off the plane, have your people pick you up and take you straight to jump in the Amazon van. And the people at work knew who I was. Like they knew me as DKG. So it was like, bro, what? So I'm sitting there and I'm literally like talking to God like, this can't be what I'm supposed to do. I'm too busy with the music to even do this. The next day I get a call and my boss is like, yeah, man, your schedule too hectic. Like, we gotta let you go.
You so, like, this a blessing?
You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, this is how funny God is. Like at the time, I was about to cry. Then all of a sudden, 2 days after I got fired, I checked my distro kit, which is how I get paid for my streams.
Yep. My
check blew my mind. Like, when
how much was it?
Hey, that's on camera. Nah. Hey, y'all see we done came up. Nah, that's a little, you feel me?
We'll blur it out.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But no, like that when I seen that check and then I did the math on like, oh, this is what I'm about to be getting every month. Oh, I'm good. Like I didn't need a job regardless. Yeah. So that was definitely the biggest risk that I took was just because that day when I got fired, I was like, you know, I'm gonna start looking for other jobs right now, But something told me just chill. Like I got you. And it's tough with being an artist because one month your streams can just deplete one time and your check that month going reflect it. Yeah. So being a full-time artist as itself is just, it's taking a bet on you. You betting on yourself every day.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DKG Kie, and you are listening to the #1 podcast for young adults. Shout out to Growing Painz, man. Listen, I'm a Christian artist. I got a bunch of new stuff coming up. Shout out to Lecrae. The song Back Home is out now, so y'all make sure y'all go stream that, go run that up. All love to Lecrae and everybody at Reach Records. And I also have a project coming out. I can't give y'all the name quite yet, but I've been throwing hints, so y'all make sure y'all follow me. The project gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be honest, something that ain't nobody heard before.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. I'm your girl, Yanni.
I'm Travion.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jada.
What's the delay for me?
No, for real. But yeah, hey, y'all. I'm Jada.
Yeah, and we here with DKG Kie. Let's get it. Straight from Detroit.
Yeah,
313. Let's go.
Yeah.
How your day going so far?
Man, it's good. It was good for sure. A little sleepy, like. We've been working since we've been down here. We've been down here 2 days, so anytime we come to Atlanta, it's not a vacation, man. It's straight work. So sleepy, but I'm excited though. God moving. So
at least it's a good tired.
Yeah,
you in a good position for real. Some artists go their whole career and probably don't even get the type of love and support that you do. So that's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
I'm grateful. Like. Me and my manager just been kind of sitting back this whole time we've been here, just thanking God because the amount of time we only been doing this for like, well, I only been doing it for like a year and a half, and then me and my manager started working together maybe 6 months ago. So it's like if that, so like all the stuff that's happening, it's like it's no way this would have happened without God.
How did that relationship come about?
Man, we were actually about to do, shout out to the ARC, man. We were about to do the ARC, the first ARC ever. Like, so we were a part of the actual planning, you know? So JD, the creator of the ARC, he had got on the phone with me and was like, man, like, you know, I know this girl named Brina, you know, she runs God is a Vibe, the blog on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I knew who she was. We had a couple conversations, but never really in depth. And he was like, man, I think you guys should work together. Like, you know, I think y'all be like a good match. I'll be kind of staying away from people. She be staying away from people. So it was like, it was a little, you know what I'm saying? and yeah, I just remember being on the game with her. I was literally playing like Xbox Live, but on the phone with her. And I'm hearing her say like, oh yeah, like we could work, we could do this. And then something like caught my ear. I'm like, maybe we can do this, you know? Yeah. And yeah, that's beyond business. That's like my sister for real. So it's like, yeah.
What was the one thing that caught your ear when y'all were on the phone having that conversation?
I just like the way she handled business. Okay. Like that's big for me. Like I'm very
She's standing on business.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Right.
Like I'm a real, like I said, I'm a laid back person, but at the same time, like she'd say, my hand is in everything. Like I direct my own videos. I do literally edit my own stuff. I do everything. Right. So for somebody else to have that mindset to kind of take some of that off of me, to like want to do enthusiastic about crunching numbers, about doing administration, and beyond that too, just making sure I'm good as a whole. Like she even know if I'm dealing with anxiety or don't want to be bothered. She could feel it like over the phone. So she'd just be like, all right, don't answer your DMs. I'm gonna move this DM over here. Don't even look at this. I'm gonna handle this. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's love, man. For real.
That's good. Something that I'm gonna say this, and then you can pull the card. But something that I feel like is super important, I think we just talked about this in the episode, but I'm not sure, is in your friendships, business relationships, romantic relationships, I always feel like you should be equally yoked with those people. And so when y'all aren't equally yoked, then y'all aren't able to move at the same pace. Y'all aren't able to grow in the best way. And so it's good that you're able to find somebody to be on your team that you feel like equally yoked with. Having somebody who knows like, oh, when you're off, when there's something going wrong, when they need to pray for you or whatever the case may be, that's the best thing to have, opposed to having somebody that's on your team that really don't care about you, or really they just see you as dollar signs, you know?
Sure.
And so, that's
some
really
artists,
good.
they be like, no, we gotta go to this show. But I'm sure she probably is like, oh, I see he's tired. Let's take a step back real quick.
That's so crazy. We literally like almost, we dang near was almost arguing like at Friday, was that Friday night? Yeah, like Friday night we was at the Airbnb. And she like, it was like an intervention. It's like 2-3 in the morning. I'm a worker, man. Like I feel like a bum if I'm not doing something every day.
That's how I
you know
feel.
what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
so I gotta do something. Yeah, like I'm talking about literally. She'd tell you like I'm in the studio probably out of a 7-day week, probably 4 or 5 days out the week, and for probably like 7 hours a day, just recording. Like I got probably 500-600 unreleased songs, and then beyond that, and I'm beyond that, I'm doing my own content, like I'm doing all type of stuff. So she was literally telling me on Friday night, like, you have to take a break, like just go to Nebraska and just do nothing, like just take a break. So yeah, she been on me about it, like don't overwork yourself, just like we're in a good position, like sit back and kind of enjoy these victories for a minute.
That's actually good, because I feel like I'm in the same place. Sometimes you get so caught up in the work, it's like you can't enjoy where you're at now. And then next thing you know, you done worked so hard your whole life, you never enjoyed the spots that, you know what I'm saying, that you could have enjoyed.
Not even realizing you're in what you already prayed for.
Exactly. And see, I feel like for me, when I was in my phase of like working, I still work a lot now, but now I feel like there's more purpose behind the work I do. Before, I feel like I really spent most of my time only doing busy work or work that wasn't really pushing me forward. So it's like, girl, what are you tired for? Because you're not even really doing anything that's helping you, you know?
Sure.
But now I feel like the work I do actually is pushing me forward.
Well, so we have some cards, and on the back there's a question, and then you can just answer it.
All right, bet.
Pick a card, any card.
All right.
So you could read it out loud.
Okay, bet. Yeah, you know I gotta read this myself first. Hold on. Well, what's the biggest risk you've took as an entrepreneur? That's a really good question. Man, I would just say becoming a full-time artist, like. Because at the time, that's why I say every time I come to Atlanta, something major happened. So the first time we came to do the ARC, I got invited to go to Reach. And we were just working, getting some stuff done. It was a good experience. And that's the crazy part is, too, I don't know when it's going to be out, but I'm sure the song will be out by then. The song that Lecrae is on with me is the song that I made that day, like 3 months before he even got on it. So we had no clue about it. So everything was going good. Like I had just got done crowd surfing. I'm signing autographs. I'm doing all this. Like, I'm feeling like the man left Reach. And then I had a moment that sobered me up. I sat in the studio the day before I left with Breeze and iProject. And I'm looking at my flight, and then I get a text from my job. I was working at Amazon at the time. And I'm like, man, I got to go back to work? Like, what? Like,
where were you working at?
Amazon. Okay. I was a driver. So that's why I hate driving to this day. But anyway, we get to that. So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was working for Amazon. So I was a driver at the time. So when I literally, imagine how this feel, y'all. Like you knock down one of your childhood goals. You go to your favorite record label. You know what I'm saying? You meet some amazing people. You literally crowd surfing, taking pictures, autographs, all that. And then you get on the plane the next day, get off the plane, have your people pick you up and take you straight to jump in the Amazon van. And the people at work knew who I was. Like they knew me as DKG. Like when I got the job, they like, oh bro, listen to you. So it was like, bro, what? So I'm sitting there and I'm literally like talking to God, like, this can't be what I'm supposed to do. I'm too busy with the music to even do this. The next day I get a call and my boss is like, yeah, man, your schedule too hectic. Like, we gotta let you go.
You like, this a blessing?
You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, this is how funny God is. Like, at the time, I was about to cry because I'm big on like, I have faith, but at the same time, I need to see this where this money going. I need to make sure it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that was my consistent check. I'm not getting paid like that for music yet. Like, so that was just gone. Then all of a sudden, 2 days after I got fired, I checked my DistroKid, Kie, which is how I get paid for my streams.
Yep.
My check blew my mind. Like, when
how much was it?
Hey, that's on camera. Nah. Hey, y'all see we done came up. Nah, that's a little, you feel me?
We'll blur it out.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? But no, like that, when I seen that check and then I did the math on like, oh, this is what I'm about to be getting every month. Oh, I'm good. Like, I didn't need a job regardless. Yeah. So that was definitely the biggest risk that I took, was just because that day when I got fired, I was like, you know, I'm gonna start looking for other jobs right now, But something told me just chill. Like I got you. And it's tough with being an artist because one month your streams can just deplete one time and your check that month going reflected. Yeah. So being a full-time artist as itself is just, it's taking a bet on you, betting on yourself every day.
Yeah, for sure. And well, I was gonna say, I do want to give you your props because you said that when you went to Amazon, there were people who already knew you like for your music. Some people would feel like so big-headed that they'll say, oh, well, I already got a following, or people know me for my music. I don't want to go get a job. Like, what I look like going to get a job? So it's like, I still give you your props for saying, okay, even though I still am, like, I'm building my music career, let me still go get a job.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me make sure the business is taken care of. Like, for real. You
never want to get to that point as an artist where you're just out here just struggling while trying to make music, because now that's gonna put you in a creative rut. And so you're trying to figure out, how am I gonna pay my bills and how am I gonna produce this music? And so you said you know, something about your childhood, how this was, you know, this was always your childhood dream.
That's the crazy part. That's why I say everything about my journey has been crazy. Like, I never really wanted to do music. Like, I never had a musical bone in my body. I always knew good music. Like, but for real, I couldn't, like, I couldn't sing, I couldn't rap, I couldn't freestyle. Like, I was the homie out of all my homeboys that a beat come on, they freestyling on the bus, I'm just in the back chilling. Like, I'm the one, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one on Snapchat, like, hey, like, going stupid. Cause I like I said, I had no musical talent. But for some reason, like, I was so drawn to the life of a musician and just what it took. I was always creative. Like, I started doing edited videos and pictures and all that at like 12, 13, not even knowing it was gonna help me in this. But yeah, one day, and I'm sure we're gonna get to that portion, but yeah, one day I just went to the studio and just kind of playing around with it. And it caught on in Detroit. They like, yo, we ain't never heard or seen nothing like this. Like, you gotta keep going. And boom, a year and a half later, we're here.
Real quick, listen. I know you're enjoying the episode, but I just wanted to tell you about our Growing Painz channel, all right? Go like, comment, and subscribe, man. If you haven't already, man, just click the link in the bio and check out this full interview with DKG Kie. What Jada, Yanni, and Trey did was ask him questions about what inspired him to do each album cover, and then they painted their favorite picture, all right? So if you want to see this exclusive, listen. If you want to see or hear this exclusive interview, it's going to be on our Growing Painz channel, all right? The link is below. With that being said, man, let's get back to the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get it.
Okay, so you talked about this music, right? How did Deeper Than Rap come about? You know, that was your first song. It was around September. How did you get into that?
Wait a minute, bro.
He had to take off the
Whoa, hold on. I feel like this is a Nardwuar interview now. Hold on, wait. Run that question back one more time.
All right, so you dropped your first song, Deeper Than Rap.
One of the first,
One of the first. Was that your first song ever? It was in September.
So honestly, like, I had dropped a couple songs before that, but I didn't take none of it serious. I just kind of did it. But the first, you absolutely right. Wow, that's crazy, because I dropped that as a single before the album. Okay, yeah. So I met Zonti, and that was like, he is what he helped me start actually be an artist. So Deeper Than Rap, you could count that as my first song. They dropped in September right after my mom's birthday, right before mine. That's insane.
Yeah, album dropped, all of that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's love, bro. I appreciate that. You know his stuff. But yeah, so I'm sorry, one more time, repeat the end of that question though. How did that,
how did that come about? Like, were you, did you just book a studio session? Were you in somebody else's studio session?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I was at my cousin's house, and we were just playing around again. Like it was just like, all right, bro, like cool. And I heard the beat. I'm like, man, this is different. Like it don't really sound like Detroit, but I can still be gritty. And all of a sudden, like I just went. We mixed both sounds together. And that's still to this day. I'm gonna be honest, that's why I'm surprised you brought it up. Like a lot of people never heard that song, but it's one of my hardest songs, bar for bar.
That was hard.
You know what I'm saying?
I listened and said, oh, that's
like it's crazy for real. So that blows my mind that you know that. But yeah, I just remember a real crazy moment of my mom. Dad rented a yacht for her birthday that year, and we were on the yacht, and that's my dad's favorite song that I ever made. So he just playing that on the speakers back to back to back, and I had a moment of like, what if this worked? Yeah, you know, like what if this could be something? You know what I'm saying? Like I could do this for my family. I could be able to just say, hey, let's just go on vacation. Let's just, do whatever. And the fact that my parents was so involved in that, my dad liked it. My dad is a crazy critic. Like even with basketball, like for real, like my dad is my biggest critic. So for him to like have it on repeat and to love it, that was a moment for me that was like, okay, yeah, we doing the right thing for sure. I can't wait for the rest of the interview now. I'm lit. Hold on. For sure.
So I have another question. So you say your dad was your biggest critic. Were you like kind of scared to show him your music?
Most definitely. Yeah. Because my pops told me at a young age, I gotta air you out like this, but I'm gonna tell y'all. My pops told me, because like I said, I grew up in church, so I was always in the Christmas plays, always in all the church plays. So, they had us singing as kids. And it's like, bro, like when you a kid, it's like, bro, if you can't sing, it's like, so what? You know what I'm saying? It's a kid. And like I said, I had no musical ability. So they had me do like the lead single in something, whatever we did that day. And I got home, and my pops looked me dead in my face at the age of like 8 or 9. And he was like, stick to basketball. And I'm like, crazy. Dang. And my mom was like, no, why would you say that? Like, you're not about to kill his spirit. And from that day forward, I was literally like, you know what?
You did good.
I did. Like, in my head, you feel me? In my head, I'm like, I'm in the mirror, like, getting my little. But no, he told me that, and I'm like, dang, all right. So when I first started doing music, and my dad hates like new age rap. Like, he hated. Like, he likes rap music, but he don't like new age rap. So especially not Detroit rap, I'm gonna be honest. So when I first showed him my stuff, and I'm sitting there, and he like, no, you got something. Like let's do it. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, we about to get signed. We made it off the hood. That's what I be doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when he said that though, that was kind of like my signal to like, all right, I know he ain't gonna tell me nothing wrong. So even to this day, before I submit one of my albums, he gets the last listen.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like he the one that
he got the final say. Honest feedback.
Yeah, and he knows his music. Like he put me on the music, like real music as a kid. So I know he know what he talking about. So he get the final say to say, nah, this ain't it. Nah, this album sounds the same. Take that out, switch around. So that's my guy. Great. That's my dog for real.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad he got that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Man,
I was gonna let you go.
You can go.
I had a couple questions, but
okay, Go. Okay, sorry, we still learning our flow.
No, y'all good.
But how does your mom feel? Like, so what type of music does your mom listen to? Does she listen to rap or?
Yeah, my mom is like, what can I say? She like old school R&B, like stuff like that. Like my dad is more versatile when it comes to music, but my mom, if she like one song, she will overplay that song for 2 years. You feel me? So yeah, she be on like old school R&B, obviously a lot of gospel, worship. So she's not really big on rap. She like beats. You know what I'm saying? So I could like play, like for instance, you know what I'm saying? Like the song All My Life, J. Cole and Dirk. Yeah. Like she liked that song, not even because of like Dirk and J. Cole and them verse. She just liked the melody behind it.
I have the exact same.
You know what I'm saying?
I would listen to a beat and not even know what the words say, which is probably not good. But
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she loved that. So it was even getting her on board was like a little challenging because my mom is very much a person that's like, she want to see that you're going to be consistent before she even get on board with anything. So because I used to get mad. I'm like, dang, she don't ever post my stuff. She don't ever da-da-da. But I was upset, but I had to realize like, no, she want me to prove myself before, you know what I'm saying, because when she get involved, she's involved. Am I lying? Like, you feel me? So yeah, she love it now though. Like that's she besides my dad, she probably my biggest fan, man. Like she loves it.
That's dope. Yeah. So what do you feel like has been some of I guess like your hardest moments or like your biggest obstacles since leaving your job? That's earlier this year, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So since then, what have been some of the obstacles that you feel like you face? Myself.
Like I can't even say anything, really anybody or anything else. Like we get flack just because what we doing is different, but I'm so used to that now. I see a negative comment and laugh. Like it's just all right, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that I'm cool off that, but it's been myself. Like because something good will happen. And then I feel like it's a tactic of the enemy where he'll come in and he'll try to have you think about every other negative thing that's going on. Or what he tried to do with me in the past was I'm a thinker. So I don't care. Like we could have, like she'll tell you, we got the Lecrae, we got the call that Cray was doing a song and all that. Yeah. Most artists, I don't care if you in my position or even higher, I don't care who, a secular artist would have been going dumb to get a Lecrae feature. Like that's the top tier, whatever. And it was amazing. But like right after that, I was depressed for like 3 weeks straight. Dang. To the point where I'm not talking to nobody because I'm like, man, what if this don't work? Or what if the song come out and they don't like it? Or what am I supposed to do after this? How do you follow a Lecrae feature? Like all of this where the enemy is like snatching my joy, where I'm just supposed to have faith and just say, well, God, you got me this far. You got me the Lecrae feature. I ain't think that was gonna happen, especially not this early. So that's been my biggest thing is just letting, like it sounds cliche, but just letting go and letting God.
So what do you think the triggers are that causes that like spiral effect?
I'm a person that's always been like geared on success. Like I gotta make it. Yeah. Like whatever I'm doing. Like when it comes to basketball, I'm competitive too. So I compete with myself. So it's like, oh, where was I at last year? All right, bet, let's beat that. Okay. Yeah. What did this, like the last album we just had charted number 3 on iTunes. All right, bet. Well, this next album, we got to get number 1. Like, it's just, it ain't even about that, but it's just like, for me, I got to compete with myself. So anytime something good happens, I hate to say it, it's like, that triggers that. Yeah. But I sober myself back up. I just have to continue to, like I've been doing, is just staying in prayer and taking those, every small or big victory and really embracing that and sitting in it for a minute.
I feel like it's a good side and a bad side to that because on one hand, just how you said, it's almost like you're always striving for more or striving for better. There is some people out here that don't strive for nothing and they lazy and they just sit at home all day. But so it's like, it's good that you do have that work ethic, but also that work ethic can sometimes hurt you. Like you said, it can put you into a place of depression. I know I've had those moments where I felt like, dang, I'm not doing enough, or dang, I just accomplished this, but I need to be doing way more. And so it's like you got to be able to find that balance, but also, like you said, rest in the fact that God got me. You know, like I didn't get this far by myself. So it's just like trust in the fact that I'm gonna be good.
For sure. It's about strengthening that faith. And one thing I've learned is that faith isn't logical. It's something that you're believing in. And you know, you just gotta believe that it's gonna work out. And so how have you strengthened your faith over time?
Just like staying in prayer, but also too knowing like the right people to have around you, because like it's a story in the Bible where the man was paralyzed and him and his people heard that Jesus was in town. He couldn't get there himself, so he had to have people around him that was selfless enough to notice what he needed, and they stood in the gap. They carried this man all the way to the house that Jesus was at. But this is what really amazes me about the story. They couldn't get in the regular way through the door because it was packed. They took him on top of the roof. Back then, we didn't have no escalator. There wasn't no escalator, none of that. They and you know, dead weight is even heavier than what you really are. So they carrying dead weight because he couldn't carry himself. His friends carried him, you know, for him, and then on top of that, lowered him down to the place where Jesus was. So they did the work when he couldn't. So it's like having people around you that can identify, hey, I noticed you ain't really been praying that much. Or I noticed you've been seeming a little depressed. Like, what's going on? Talk to me. Like, let's just pray. Or not even praying together. Just, hey, bro, like, I got people, like my homeboys, they call me and just tell me, like, hey, bro, like, get on your gang. Like, what you got going on? And sometimes you need that. So that's been the biggest thing, is just staying in God's presence and also watching who you have around you.
So, well, did you have a question? Okay. So earlier, I think before the camera started, you were talking about how before you like rededicated yourself to God, you know, you was into a whole other lifestyle. Do you feel like, or did you try and keep some of those people, some of those friends from that lifestyle with you once you rededicated your life and started to basically turn a new leaf?
Yeah. It was like, I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't, a lot of people have asked me that too, like did they just drop off? Did you cut them off? I didn't, like when you moving with God, you don't really have to cut people off.
That is
you know
so
what I'm saying?
true.
Like we had a situation, I ain't gonna get too deep into it because I don't know who's gonna watch this, but we had a situation one time where we were in a, how can I say this? We were in an environment that worship was going on, and then it was a couple people that literally just left. We didn't tell them to bounce. We didn't tell them to exit. We didn't make them feel weird. Like, I don't know what the heck going on.
Yeah.
I thought we was on the same page, but they, like, you could tell was like something that kind of irritated their spirit, and the spirit that was on us irritated the demon that was on them, and they left. So it's the same thing. Like when I left out of the lifestyle that I was in, they just kind of noticed what I was on, and they respected it from a distance. And I can respect that because you're not trying to get me to come back over there. I'm still trying to pull you where I am. Maybe you ain't ready yet, but I like the fact that you can respect it from a distance.
Sure. And what was that lifestyle, you know, as the Christian drill music, all of that stuff that you've been making, how did you use that for your music? What lifestyle did you live basically?
It was
fire.
So it was some of everything. It was like, I feel like God allowed me to jump off in the street and get a taste of it and then come back. Like he got me right before everything was about to go real bad. Like, so really, like I said, I grew up with 2-parent household. Everything was cool. Like they made sure I was good. I worked for everything I had. So I had a work ethic, was a star basketball player, went to college, hooped. And by the time I got to my sophomore year, I just kind of just started wilding out. We fighting, we partying, I'm selling weed, I'm smoking all the time, drinking. I'm just doing some of everything. Just to do it, honestly.
Is that how you left college, or?
Yeah, that's why.
You got kicked out because of?
Yeah, so what happened, they gave me a couple chances actually too. Like they had called me in one time for shout out, I ain't gonna say his name, but shout out Coach, because you were real one for this, but shouldn't have did it, but appreciate you at the time. But he called me in one time and he was like, hey, we got this drug test, da-da-da. He was like, just be real with me. You smell like weed right now. Like, I know you about to fail this. So he was like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a chance and like get your act together, X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, all right, bet, cool. Didn't listen, continued to smoke, and then that affected even my grades. So it got to the point where we was out of town for a tournament and we had got our grades back and coach was checking them, making sure we was all eligible. I'll never forget it. He came to my room. He was like, all right, we didn't caught you smoking weed and, you know, doing what you was doing on campus, but now your grade's so bad we can't even keep you on the team. So at that point, it was just like, bro, you might as well go home. Like, we called you here to hoop. Like, you obviously not an academic student. So it's like, bro, if you ain't doing either one, it's like, bro, you got to go. So, yeah, that's what ultimately led. It was a combo of everything. And it was really, it was time for me to just go back home after that, honestly.
How did your parents feel about that?
About that situation?
Yeah.
My dad was, oh my God, he was so upset. Oh, he was so, because he had to come get me from the airport, take me back to college, get my stuff.
That was a silent car ride.
Oh my, yeah, it was, because my dad, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad ain't the type, he don't yell and all that. That's my mama. Like, my mama would have been yelling at me the whole 3-hour ride, but my dad, we literally just like staring out the window the whole time.
That silence kills.
Yeah, because I knew
silence
like,
was loud. And
then make it so bad. Oh man, I gotta say this though. This is kind of funny. We laugh about it to this day. So at the time when I was doing what I was doing in the world, the car that I had, we would smoke in it from time to time. So that's really what made him upset, was because like he had to sit in that. Like, so it was like, man, like you was really disrespecting all of this. Like you had a good thing going, and like I'm talking about, we driving back, he coughed, like he is upset. So it was that moment right there was just like, dang, like, I really let them down.
For sure.
And from that moment, it was like, how do I get them to be back proud of me? You know what I'm saying? Because you know that hurt when your parents say like, I ain't even mad, I'm disappointed. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's worse than a whooping. Like, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, that was how that happened though, for sure.
Do you feel like it was anything? So you mentioned like smoking and stuff. Do you feel like once you got saved, was there anything hard for you to let go? Like any, just things you kept wanting to hold on from your past life?
For sure. You know what was crazy though? It was like when I first came to God, because of the story of how I came to God for real, like the urgency that I had to have because of what happened, it kind of stripped off of me. Like right then, it was like some stuff will try to linger, but the big sins, as people would call it, you know what I'm saying, the smoking, the drinking and all that, it was like that. I woke up literally the next day after the encounter that I had with God, and I was good, but I didn't understand spiritual maintenance, where it's like, I thought waking up that next day, oh, I'm good. I'm be good for the rest of my life. Like, nah, like you gotta keep cleaning. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this space that we in right now. It's clean right now, but you give it a month without nobody coming in doing maintenance, cleaning it. Stuff builds up, trash gets left, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So yeah, but going back to the original question on how did it influence the music. Yeah, see, like that the lifestyle that I was living, I seen what had a grip on our generation. It was the music. And I saw it was the type of beats. It was that drill. Like that was when drill from Chicago and Detroit really started to blow up for real. So in my head, my plan was like, all right, Christians ain't gonna like this, but I know who I'm trying to get. Yeah. I know who I'm trying. I want to get everybody, but I really like, my heart is for the souls, for real. That's lost. So I'm like, man, if I could mix this sound with Christian and put it together, like let's see what happened. And it took off.
I love that. I feel like, I was gonna say, I feel like you gotta meet people where they are.
For sure.
Sometimes when you try and present yourself to like other Christians as this perfect image, they're gonna see that and feel like, I can't relate. But if they see you and feel like, and they hear your music, even though you're talking about something that's alike, they still can feel more connected to you, because it's like, oh, this feels a little bit more familiar. Yeah. But once they really see, oh, this is the type of stuff that he talks about, oh, this is actually good for me. You know, it's like, that's how you're planting a seed in people, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. And that's how you convey the message, because imagine you singing, you know, truth is I'm tired.
Yeah. No offense.
And, you know, nobody's trying to, our age group,
I get what you're saying.
Not receive it. You feel me? I can listen to it, but they may not receive it. And so what's that message that you send, you know, connecting with those people behind using, like, what does demon killer mean?
Yeah, man, I'm so glad y'all asked. I love this question, honestly, because it's like, I tell people all the time, every day that you wake up and choose God, you killed the demon. Like, that's what that was. Like, last night when we had the session that we had at the studio, after we got done with the crazy worship song that came out of it, we just sat there for a minute and just wrote down whatever God was saying to all of us individually. And my manager had said something funny. She was like, man, like, we really just, like, killed demons tonight. Like, for real. Because we put mirrors up to ourselves and realized, or God put mirrors up to us, and we figured out what was wrong with how we were living, what we were doing, some things maybe that we had to get better at. So it's like, when you following Christ, that is you figuratively killing demons. Like that's what that is. But I just knew what, like, the terminology would catch people. It's shock value. Like, demon kill, what is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's shock value. So,
and then I feel like it makes people think like, this is different. You know, nobody really talks about it like that.
Yeah.
So what would you say? So walking a life with Christ is not, you know, the easiest.
Nah.
And sometimes killing demons ain't the easiest
not
either. So what would you say, like, for somebody who's battling with something like temptation or anything like that?
Yeah, it goes back to, like, how bad do you really want this stuff gone? Like, that's the question. Because you could say you want to stop drinking, you could say you want to stop smoking, but, like, how bad do you really want it? Because my life didn't change until I got sick and tired of living one way. So, and it's like, when you desperate, you'll take a desperate measure. So, like, I know fasting for sure. Like, fasting, people don't like to do it. And it's not just fasting food. You could fast whatever it is that's distracting you in life. Like, I check numbers all day. Like, I'm on my Spotify, I'm on my Apple, I'm on Instagram. I'm making sure, like, everything is going where it's going. Maybe I just need to fast that for a couple of days sometime and take that time, spend that with God. And some people may be social media. Some people wake up every morning, check social media before they talk to God. Maybe y'all need to fast social media. And it's showing, it's not, people fast a lot of times. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Because people will fast a lot of times and they think they doing it for God. It's for you. Like, God don't need you to fast. Like, that ain't making him more powerful. Like, no, it's building you up. It's showing your flesh that you can say no. So I would definitely, like I said, I would say fasting, watching your ear gate, watching your eye gate, and continuously, like I said, staying prayed up, because prayer really does work. Like, people, it's like it's like therapy for real.
Yeah,
for sure.
What do you feel as though is the benefits of the fast? What are you doing in that time for yourself? As for a prime example, you were speaking, you're like, thank you, Holy Spirit, like giving that thanks to God. How do you know, like, this is what message is being sent to me right now? Yeah, it's like when you fast, and especially if you do it, I don't want to say the right way, because there's a lot of times, it's a lot of ways to do it, but, like, I went so deep in, I had so much stuff that was on me that I had to, we call them lock-ins, where I literally would, like, go in the basement for a whole 24 hours, no food. I think sometimes I even did it with no water.
No phone, no music, no sermons, nothing. Just me in a basement and God. So it was like, because you have to learn how to mark the voice of God. Because a lot of people always ask me like, well, how do you know if it's God speaking? Because it's always three different voices. It's God, it's yourself, and it's the devil. So it's like, with that, you got to know how to mark it. And the only way you're going to mark it is this the same way as like playing basketball. The only way you're going to know like how to hit a certain shot is by keep doing it. And then once you hit that certain shot, it becomes muscle memory. Now you know, okay, when I flick my wrist this way, when I flick it this way, it's gonna go left. When I flick it this way, it's right. So it's the same thing. It's like really sitting in God's presence and just testing it out. Talk to him and then sit quiet. A lot of people, when they talk to God, they selfish. And I'm gonna say it like I used to do it, because they'll talk to God and they'll say, God, can I get this? God, can I get this? God, thank you for this, but also I need this. And then they leave. Yeah. Prayer is a conversation. Like, how would y'all feel if I came in here and was just like, hey, what's going on? I got this song with the crate dropping and da-da-da-da, X, Y, Z. All right, appreciate y'all. We out. Didn't kill that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and didn't give y'all a chance to say nothing. Like, that's disrespectful. Yeah. So it's like, prayer is a conversation. So pray and then sit. Like, people so afraid of the word meditation because it sounds demonic and X, Y, Z, but that's what that is. You're sitting and you waiting on God to say something back. And sometimes maybe he won't. And sometimes that's an answer. See, now I'm going somewhere. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like sometimes you'll pray and ask God for something and then you won't hear nothing. And it's like, okay, cool. I get what you're saying. Like, maybe sit still. The last 3 weeks, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but y'all, it's like, like the last 3 weeks when I was depressed about like just where I'm supposed to go and all this, so like, Brina will tell you, I was forcing myself to record because that's not like me to not be able to rap. Like, I could wake up at 5 a.m. and spit something. It's just come natural. I couldn't write. Well, I don't write, period, but I couldn't record anything for the last 3 weeks. And I kept wondering why. And then so I finally just sat down. I would ask God, like, all right, am I supposed to make this song? Nothing. Okay. All right, maybe I just need to sit down and just get quiet and figure out what's going on. And then now, because of that time that I spent with him, because I marked his voice, now he gave me the direction where to go in my next phase in my music. Like, the next sound of stuff that y'all hear from me is gonna sound like nothing that y'all heard before. Like, no exaggeration. But it's because I sat and I didn't allow the fans to get to me what I think the fans want, what I think my parents want, what I think I want. It's what God wants, because God knows what's to come next. So yeah. Good.
I love that. That's very true. Like, I would say, I like what you were saying about hearing God's voice and needing to meditate, because it's like people will say, oh, I'm not hearing from God, but every time you get in the car, you listen to music. When you get home, you watch Netflix. Yep. When you wake up, you go straight to work. It's like you're not giving God any space to even talk to you, you know? Yeah. And that's what I had to realize for myself, because I remember sometimes I used to even talk to God, and it used to feel like, is God even listening to me? But sometimes you have to have that faith, like, no, he's here right next to me, listening to me. Yep. And then he may not be answering me right now, but in due time, he's going to answer. Yep. And it may not be how I thought it was, but he's going to answer, you know?
Definitely.
And sometimes, really quick too, sometimes God will give confirmation through other people. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 is confirmed. So it's like last night, one of the people that was in the studio with us, when we got done with the session we had, God just started speaking through me, and I spoke to this person and said, well, God is saying right now to you, blah, blah, blah. And the person showed me their phone and was like, bro, I literally just wrote this down. Wow. So it was like, if this person was battling in their head, man, maybe this ain't God. Well, now you know it is, because somebody who don't know what you're going through, I wasn't watching you write it down, spoke, and it wasn't me, it was the Holy Spirit. So yeah, a lot of times, like, sometimes God may not say something to you, but you'll see signs. Some people see in license plate, like my manager, she sees a lot of things and get confirmed a lot of things in license plates. I'm telling you, it's so many different ways. You just have to be like, your spirit just has to be open towards it.
Yeah, definitely. I had 2 questions. So the first one is, what is your process like when you're in sessions? Like, what is the Holy Spirit's involvement in that? Like, how do you get into that creative flow? And then the second thing I wanted to ask after that was, what has God shown you, like, is the vision for, as far as like long term? Where do you see what you're doing, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Perfect. So yeah.
So the first question, my process, I don't write. So like, I haven't wrote since probably Deeper Than Rap. Honestly, like, I got them lyrics still on my phone. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll go in the studio And I pray first, like no matter who's in the studio, I don't care what background you come from, whatever. If you gotta leave, then leave. But we about to pray. Yeah. So you set the atmosphere, because no matter who you are, you have the power to change your atmosphere. Yeah. So we go and make sure that the atmosphere is conducive for God to move. And then from there, I'll kind of sit and figure out what beats I want to use. So it's crazy because the Holy Spirit just be changing stuff up. Like last night, we were driving to the studio and I'm telling them like, bro, I'm about to get on some Detroit beats. I ain't did it in a minute. Like, I might just start talking crazy tonight. Like, we gonna be on that. So like, all right, bet. We get there, we hype, we turn. Like, so we start working on a Detroit song and I'm just freestyling. I'm just going. And we got halfway through it. And they'd tell you the song was cold. Like some of the bars and everything was like crazy. But something just kept pulling on me like, nah, scrap this. So we scrapped it. Did another one, got halfway through it, project, scrap it. And I sat quiet and I looked at my producer project and I'm like, bro, I feel like this is one of them sessions where like God really about to show up. Yeah. So he was like, all right. And it's good that he's tapped in with the Spirit too, because as soon as I said that, he played this beat and it was like worship. I'm gonna play this for y'all when we get off air. Like the song had so much anointing on it. It was almost no drums, no nothing. It was just worship. So I sat with it, literally put something over my head and blacked out. And just pretty much freestyle it's 9 minutes, y'all. Wow. I thought I was singing for 3. Like she'd tell you, like we all just kind of, the Holy Spirit hit the room and it just turned into a spontaneous worship. So that's the process. Like you can't tell me go in the studio and make a drill song. Like no, I have to feel something. Like I gotta be led. God is telling you to do. Exactly. Yeah. And that, that may rub people some wrong ways. That's why some engineers it might be hard for me to work with some engineers, but you got to be able to just go with the flow. Right. And the second,
you can't make like trendy music or trying to make a TikTok sound.
Exactly, because I'm gonna be honest. That we used to think about that too. Like, bro, we would have been made it if, you know what I'm saying, we just make this certain type of song. Or
TikTok.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that little hip stuff y'all be doing. Like, you feel me? Like, bro, we done had so many thoughts like that. Like, bro, let's just go to the studio and do something trendy so we can go viral. But it's not authentic. Yeah. And people want to feel something. Like the worship album I dropped, Resurrection, the reason that album did better than any other project I ever did was because that was the most authentic I've ever been. And people could feel it. Like people felt the raw emotion. But the second question that you had asked about the 5 years from now, where do I see myself? I'm gonna be honest, like God, the music that I'm tapping into, it's a totally different genre. It's not Christian rap, it's not worship, it's not rap, it's like, Project calls it throne room music. So that'll just give y'all like a kind of like an idea of what it is. Like you really feel like you in God's presence. It's like a twist of alternative rock, rap. I mean, it's everything in one. So yeah, it's crazy. So God kind of has been pushing me there to kind of start this. We already kind of started the Demon Killer Rap or the Christian Drill, but it's like, nah, let's do this now. Let's do this. So that's gonna take off and go wherever it's going. But as far as like business wise and career wise, I definitely see myself like having my own label for real, and being able to help out other people that's like me. I prayerfully married, prayerfully maybe a child or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of lonely out here sometimes. You feel me? But no, definitely that. But just being able to help people. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like I know my growth is gonna be there. I know my followers are gonna continue to shoot up. I know my music gonna continue to pay. But like, did I help people? Like that's something I said in the song last night. Like I pray this every night. Like, did I live the right life? Like did I bring people to your light? Yeah, that's the question that I want to be able to look back on my career and say, no, I did that. Like I did this the right way.
That's love that. What I was gonna say was what I love about what you said as far as about the throne room music. I feel like God will literally give you your own lane. Yeah. Like when you really tap into God, that was one thing I'm really grateful that I learned when I got saved. Was before then I used to think that I had to. Since I'm a designer, I used to think, I have to create the same stuff as everybody else, or I have to do what's trendy. I didn't even think I was able to come up with new ideas. I felt like everything has already been done under the sun. But then once I got saved, God immediately showed me, no, I actually have created my own lane for you. I will give you ideas of things that haven't been done yet. I will show you things that haven't been seen yet. And so that's what you made me think of when you talked about that. But I think that's super, super dope. Yeah,
because like we had a conversation last night at the studio, and it's like I told them, I'm like, bro, we have to get out of this stigma of like, let's be the Christian version of
this.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm so tired of that. Like
you don't want people to come to listen to you and they're like, oh, I think of this person. You're listening to DKG Kie.
Yeah,
because that's not even being set apart. You're literally being a copy of something, just the clean version.
Exactly.
So I will say, I feel like both sides of that, because sometimes I'll hear a good secular song, but I can't listen to it. But if somebody makes a Christian version, it's like, okay, I can listen to it.
Yeah.
But then I look at it on the other side and I'm like, okay, so we know the enemy replicates or duplicates what God does. And it's kind of like, why are we copying secular people when God gave us our own lane, you know?
I feel like it's all about intention, though. Everything you do in life is about your intention. It's like your mindset behind it. So like for me, when I made Christian drill music, I wasn't trying to sound like Lil Durk or King Von. And when I do my Detroit beats, I'm not trying to sound like a T Grizzly or a Sada Baby or a Peasy or whoever it is.
Big
it's
Sean.
I guess. Shout out Sean. But yeah, it's like we like my intention going into Christian drill music, for example. I didn't sit down and hear that beat and be like, oh, let me go listen to Von real quick. Let me go listen to Durk. Okay, how did they? Nah, it just happened. It was organic. My thing, what I don't like, because I've literally witnessed this, where I'm in the studio with somebody and they like, man, I want this to sound like so-and-so, or they'll hear a song and they like, oh, let's do the flip side of, nah, bro, like, do something that ain't nobody done.
Right.
And it's like I said, now, because even when every Detroit beat I get on, every trap beat it almost has to sound like something you've heard before. But what we've been tapping into lately, I'm telling y'all, like, I personally can't pinpoint anybody who sounds like this.
That's good.
And that's how I know it's just for me.
I was gonna say, I feel like that comes with having your own time with God. Like when you spend that secret time with God, He'll show up for you in the world or what you do. But it's like, if you're not spending that own relationship time with Him, then it's like He can't show up for you, because you're not going to be able to hear His voice.
Exactly. And I was going to say, the person that you referenced saying, they said, oh, I want to sound just like this person. I feel like when you're in those type of situations, you probably have like low faith in those moments, because like I said, you're trying to create what's already been created instead of having the faith that God can give you your own vision, your own creative vision. Just how I talked about earlier before the interview started. If God created so many different variations of plants and flowers and trees, skin colors, fish in the sea, all of this stuff, literally there, and think about it this way, there's so many things in the ocean and so many even different types of animals that still haven't been discovered yet, which means there are probably so many ideas that God has created that haven't even come to light yet. So don't feel like, oh, well, in order for me to get all these people, I need to sound just like this person. Literally, God is going to give you a vision that is going to bring the people to you. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing.
For sure. I even believe that with, amongst us, our team, we, with our own personal brands, Jada with Jael, me with my graphic design business, Royalty Made It, Yanni with Wise Label, her Christian streetwear brand, and even just the podcast together, we're always thinking, what can we do differently? Not doing what somebody else has already done. You can take some of that in order to be inspired, but don't mimic it, because something that Yanni has taught me is like, thoughts are abundant. So you're gonna have endless thoughts of different things. If you're just doing a bare minimum of what somebody else is thinking, you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna receive the blessing, because that was somebody else's blessing. That's not your blessing.
For sure.
So you're trying to receive the same blessing or outcome when somebody else already received that, and that's not for your lane, or that's not what's set out on your life. And that even goes back to being silent. When you're quiet enough to listen to what God is telling you, then you can really hear, all right, this is what I want you to do. This is where I want to guide you into the next season or chapter in your life. You feel me? And so that even brings me to the next question of how you talked about resurrection. Previously, before we started, you said that was a whole different sound compared to what you usually make. And with what you usually make, you would get a lot of critics saying, oh, with the sound and stuff. So what's the difference between, who was Kie when he made Saved Not Soft in September of 2021 and when he made Resurrection this year in June?
Man, I'm coming back, bro. I'm coming back. Man, that's, hey, bro. Hey, y'all called to do this for real. But no, that's a great question because that's literally what me and my team been talking about since we've been down here. Because the next album, I can't give y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all off camera, but even the name of this next album is kind of like an answer to that question that you just asked. But in 2021, when I did Save Not Soft, it was like, I'm gonna be honest, some of it was pride. Like it was like, okay, I gotta make it. So I'm about to show them. I'm gonna do everything in my power. I'm about to show everybody I can out-rap anybody, whether you like what I'm saying or not. And it's also pride because it's like, I don't care what y'all say. This I know God told me to do this. Like, this is in my head. Like, I don't care what critic got to say, I'm not listening to nobody. It's just, this is how I feel. This is what God is telling me to do, and I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And it was some of that. It was just, and then too, like, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. Like, for real, with the space. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that everybody about to accept me and bring me in. I'm working with Zanti now, and I'm and it was totally different. So I went through a lot of pain, like a lot of pain right after that tape dropped. I thought that was about to just take me to a whole nother level. I'm about to be happy. No, like, that put me in a place of isolation. I got hurt really, really bad by people, all type of stuff. But fast forward to Resurrection, that's really what this was. I died to myself so many times working on that project because when I first started with Save Not Soft, it was mostly Detroit beats. Yeah. So it was like, this is who I am. I'm from Detroit. I'm a stand on business. I'm a put on for the city. And then God started shifting me in a different direction. And it was like, why is everything that I'm working on sound like worship? I'm not a singer per se. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. In my head is what I'm saying. And then on top of that too, I didn't think my fans was gonna go with it. So I'm like, oh, bro, this about to flop. Like, we going triple plastic with this one, like, for real. Like, me and my manager would be having arguments. Like, I would wake up in the morning and be like, bro, I'm not dropping it. Like, we not doing this. So I gotta, whatever. But I literally had to die because it was called Diary at first because it was really just me talking to God. And then God said, no, Resurrection, because you literally died to yourself. You died to your pride. Because I had to put my pride down because, like I said, I didn't know what was going to happen. So that's what it was. It was me dying to myself and then coming back on the other side with a brand new outlook on life, a brand new outlook on who I am, who other people are. People showed me their true colors during this process, good and bad. So yeah, that's really what it was. It was literally my resurrection, and now it's taking me to even my next project, like. Oh, I can't.
Resurrection is definitely my favorite song. Album title track. That's my favorite song. And so, with that being said, as an artist, a Christian artist at that, you're gonna begin to grow. You're gonna begin to have a platform and all of that stuff, and even like just your appearance, like you can see like what you wear and stuff. How do you know not to? Well, how do you remain on track of not living in vanity, not leading people to the wrong thing, or not getting caught up in industry antics and politics and stuff like that?
Most definitely. It's like I tell people too. Like a lot of people, I was talking to somebody last night, and it's like a lot of people put this type of stuff on to impress other people. But it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like I said, if y'all look at like Detroit history and stuff, this is just what we like.
Which I do.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This is just what we do. Like since a kid, I wanted to change. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is literally just what we do. I'm surprised I ain't got my Cartiers on me. It's like, we just got certain staples. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like being from there, this is just who we are. So I try not to get caught up in this stuff, because this stuff can leave. Like this stuff don't really mean nothing for real. I could throw this away and never see it again. But the souls that we winning, like that's what matters. That's what I continue to keep in my mind. God will continue to remind me whenever I feel doubt or whenever I do slip into pride, it's, hey, why did you start doing this? And the answer always comes back to, I want to help people. Yeah. So the chain and stuff, this just add to it, because I'm showing people who used to want a chain, and like for us growing up, we wanted this type of stuff, and we thought the only way you can get it was trap. Yeah. Like we thought you had to be on a block. So it's like, or being a secular rapper or being an athlete. So it's like, no, I'm gonna show this to y'all and show y'all like this ain't no drug money. Like we this is everything 100% legal. God gave us this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just what it is. And like I said, having people around you that keep you humble. Like my homeboys, Vaughn, Lee, all of them. Like matter of fact, before I got in here, I posted a picture sitting in the Tesla that we got outside or whatever. He the first one commenting talking about how you bigger than the car. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep homies around that's gonna keep you humble, bro. Like that, we got the Lecrae feature, and they was like, hey, that's fire. but you still can't rap better than me. Like, and we just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna make sure that my head ain't getting too big. They gonna always let me know, bro, you still J Kie to us, bro. Like, we homeboys, you feel me? So,
definitely. Yeah. I love that.
I don't know if you mind me. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's so much stuff I wanted to ask, but I know we gotta wrap up.
I want to ask one last question. So, how did I just can't go back? I can't go back. I'm coming, yo. Baby, waiting on it for the drop. I'm looking better. That's my song.
No cap. No cap. Yeah.
How did that come about? That song is hard.
Man, me and Alex got history, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's my guy, though. That's my guy. Like, it was it all started with really a miscommunication. Mm-hmm. Like, I was at it's crazy how the enemy worked too, because he didn't even know this, but I was thinking about quitting rap at the time. I was at a very bad place, and then we had like a miscommunication. Some stuff had got put on Instagram. People took some stuff out of context, and it just really went left. So we ended up doing the art. So we kind of came back together, things was squashed, and then he had just hit me up one day randomly and was just like, bro, we gotta do a song together. So I'm just like, shoot, let's do it. Like, let's work. Like, I've always loved his music. You know, he's always admired mine. So it's just like, bro, we gotta do something. So he sent me, did he send me the beat? He sent me the whole joint, like, done when he came to my phone. So when I played it and I heard the hook, I'm like, yeah, bro, this is crazy. Like, I sent it to some of my people, like, bro, I gotta snap on this. Like, this gotta be a statement song. And I recorded that in probably like 10 minutes. Literally, like, soon as I heard the beat, I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm coming. And then it was like, no pun intended, but it was like, and then even some of the bars, y'all gotta forgive me, I don't write, so I don't be remembering my lyrics, but it was one of the lines that I said, like, this is my brother in Christ. Demons under our feet. You know what I'm saying? Like why y'all want us to beef? Like, you feel me? Like, because it was, like I said, this was the song that was kind of showing people, like, I know it's a lot of a division in Christian rap and in the Christian space in general, but it's like, bro, if arguably two of the bigger voices in Christian rap can have whatever we had going on and then come back together publicly, and it wasn't fake either. Like, that was, when we was on FaceTime with each other, like, that was real. Like, we really hyped. Like, this was a dope moment for us. You know what I'm saying? We'll never forget that.
That's hard.
Super dope.
Yeah, for sure.
So to end things off, what is one question that you wish we would have asked you that we didn't?
Ooh, I don't know. Y'all dug into it. Man, one question I do always get that y'all didn't ask, I really don't, I ain't tripping that y'all ain't asked me though, but it's always about like love, something about like love life, like stuff like that. I get that a lot.
I was going to bring that
up. Or we do have a.
I was thinking in the segment.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about it.
No, it's whatever, bro.
So just to end it off.
Yeah, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm just taking my time, and you know what I'm saying, with the Lord, and you know, right now I am married to God and my craft, but you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, like I said, just keeping my eyes open and you know, paying attention to certain things, you know, if y'all can catch with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what's another question? Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, y'all did y'all thing. Like, some of the, y'all did y'all thing. I was shocked. For sure. Y'all really did y'all thing. For real. Y'all actually really, because a lot of interviews, bro, I'm gonna be honest, some people don't even be knowing like the first thing about me. And they be asking questions where it's like, all right, now if you would have just looked at my Instagram, bro, like, it'd be the most random stuff. And then some stuff be like obvious, like, bro, if you would have just went to my page, you would have saw that. Like, you ain't even go to my Instagram. So no, man, I appreciate y'all. This was dope. This was dope.
We appreciate it. Let them know what project is coming soon, you know, where they can find you, all that stuff. I think, by the time this come out, the song will be out. So y'all go stream Back Home, myself featuring Lecrae. That song's crazy. And then I do have a tape dropping. I can't say when, but if y'all go pay attention to the last music video I dropped, the 5 music video, the skit at the end, if y'all really pay attention, I put the date in the skit. So the date.
That's creative.
I told you, I direct, you know what I'm saying? I like that. So I put the date in the last skit. So if y'all want to know when the actual tape is dropping, it's a Easter egg in there, and I can't give y'all the name of the tape yet. That's gonna come soon. We gonna it's coming soon.
For sure. And you can follow us at Growing Painz Pod. You'll see all our individual pages on there. You can listen to us on Apple Pod, Spotify, all that good stuff. And text us.
Yeah.
Get all the events we got coming up. So yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, tapping with DKG Kie. He got some great things going on.
Definitely.
And we appreciate y'all. We're gonna see y'all. Let's get it. We out.
Bye y'all.
See ya.
All right, and on next, 2 contested.
This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This is wild. I gotta start practicing my painting ability for real.